Good afternoon and thanks for joining us for Living Local, your lifestyle show for all things Charleston and beyond. I'm Ashley Meservey. No matter where you turn, Charleston has a story to tell. And boy, do we have tales to share today as we head downtown to visit Henry's on the Market for a look at what has kept this restaurant and bar in business since 1932. Joining us today, we have Rose and Leo, the owners here at Henry's on the Market. Thank you both for having me today. Super excited. Right now we're in the Whiskey Lounge, right?
That's correct.
All righty, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But first, Leo, let's talk about the history here. You've got a rich history, don't you?
Oh, it goes way back. Henry Hesselmeyer opened the doors in 1932. He started the restaurant in Charleston, in the business in Charleston. He just took it to an all new level. And I bought it from his daughter she inherited it in 1980s, the early 80s, and I bought it in 1985.
You don't look old enough to have bought it in 1985.
So kind.
You know?
You're a pretty woman.
You know.
Everyone can see that.
Okay, so kind of talk about how much it's evolved over the years, Rose. I mean, I'm sure you've seen a lot of changes, and what do you think as far as evolving, how it's changed?
Well, we've become quite the night spot and starting to be known for our food as well. Always, you'll hear stories about people who said, oh, I met somebody here, 30 years ago. So the history is certainly here. Generations of people have come here and celebrate many occasions.
Well, I'll tell you this, I just found out from my mom, this is where my mom and dad actually had their first date. They've been married for 38 years, I believe. They're probably watching and they're like, you don't even know how long we've been married. But they told me that this was the place that they came and had their first date. So I thought that was pretty cool. Right?
We hear those stories all the time. I mean, you figure since 1932, I mean, this place was it's nothing like it is now. It's just, everyone that comes to Charleston always says, let's go to Henry's, because somebody has mentioned Henry's before. I bet it's the #1 talked about name in Charleston, South Carolina, as far as a restaurant.
I love that. And the fact that, I grew up here, and the fact that this was a place that my parents had their first date shows you that you don't have a typical customer, right?
Right. There is no typical customer. We have every age group. We start out with families typically in the morning, come here to eat lunch, catch a carriage ride, see the sights of Charleston. Then as we move into the evening hours, we have the partying crowd coming in.
And for those that, I find it hard to believe they have not been here before, but for those who haven't, what are, real quickly, just some of the different aspects of Henry's and what you offer here? I mean, we have the Whiskey Lounge here,
correct.
Rooftop.
We have the rooftop, of course, the dining downstairs. The thing that I hear most is when people turn the corner and they see our southern porch, and I hear, this place is amazing. And I hear that at least every day. People can come in if, weather is bad, they have a nice place like this to sit in the whiskey room. They can go up on the decks and enjoy the views and the breezes. And on the weekends, we have our MV Dance Lounge opened, which is a nice place, for people to come and hear the top.
Is that where you get the bottle service?
Yes.
That's very.
You can get bottle service anywhere in the restaurant.
Oh, well, hey, accommodating it from every angle.
That's exactly.
And a little later, we're actually going to talk to Greg, who's big into the live music scene as
he's
well.
our music
That's really
man.
something that y'all are known for
Greg
as well.
Russell's the best.
All right, so Leo, I want to know about this though. Where do you think Henry's fits when it comes to like the culinary scene here?
I think Henry started it. I really do. I think if it wouldn't have been for Henry Hesselmeyer and being in the city of Charleston when it took off, I owe him a lot. But I think Charleston owes him a lot too, because he was that good of a restaurateur. He was one of the best and biggest restaurateurs in the 30s and 40s and 50s. Nobody could touch him. And now we're in the top 5 in sales. We just hope we make him proud if he's watching us right now. We really do.
And so, talk about kind of how the two of you came together.
We went to high school together.
Really?
Isn't that
So y'all
right?
have your own little
we went to
history
Hanahan.
together,
Yes,
huh?
we did.
Hanahan. Is that what you said?
I bothered her in high school.
Oh, what was he like in high school?
You don't want to know.
So before we head out today, I want to just know about where do you see Henry's? You have to evolve. It seems like the scene here when it comes to restaurants, bars, you have to keep up with the times. How do you see Henry's evolving even more in the future?
Well, we're 88 years old now.
You've obviously learned something over the years, right?
In 12 years, we celebrate our 100-year anniversary. And in my estate planning, nobody can sell it or take the name away for the next 100 years.
Really?
Yeah, so that's for sure. So even after we are all gone, Greg, myself, and Rose are gone, it has to be Henry's for the next 100 years. So as far as evolving, I think we're here now. I think it's just going to keep getting better and better in the holy city of Charleston, South Carolina. I think we're here. I think Henry's has finally gotten to that place where it will always be here. It won't go anywhere.
Well, I think, Rose, you'd probably agree that you can't end on a better note than that, right?
We're so,
Lots of passion here.
it's the truth,
Henry's is here to stay, right?
forever.
Alrighty, well, thank you both again for having
Oh,
us.
Thank you,
thank
Ashley.
you for
Thanks
having
for
us.
coming.
And more Living Local is coming your way, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.